One thing I like about Donald Trump is he believes in creative destruction, smashing old ways of thinking that are getting in the way of progress. And nowhere is that clearer than what he's done to bring peace to the Middle East. Overnight, he co-signed the last of 2 peace deals he's made in a month between Israel and Arab countries that were once its enemies. First, the United Arab Emirates, now with Bahrain.
There have previously been only 2 such agreements. Now we have achieved 2 in a single month, and there are more to follow.
Now, to do this, Trump has thought very creatively. First, using the Arab world's fear of fundamentalist Iran, say, let's get in all this together with Israel against a joint enemy. And Trump also did something else that people like Barack Obama were too dumb and cringing to even consider. He wasn't going to reward the Palestinian terror groups who have been demanding more and more from Israel, weren't really interested in peace, just in foreign donations. They said, damn it, forget their threats, I'm going to move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, Israel's capital, which Australia, by the way, hasn't done, sent his daughter to the opening, even though the Hamas terror group had launched another bloody confrontation with Israel. And the media left back then, 2 years ago, lost its mind, said, that's done it. No one will treat Trump seriously again when it comes to peace.
Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and one that Palestinians and others say could destroy hopes of Middle East peace once and for all.
The president's unilateral action will get people killed. How hot will it get? And how destabilizing will it be?
What he has done is thrown a diplomatic bomb into the Middle East peace process.
They're not interested in history.
They don't know history.
That would then embarrass all the Sunni Arab regimes. They would have to do something, enormously complicating, by the way, Israel's relations with them.
It's going to stop any hope of Middle East.
Great to see that overrated fool Thomas Friedman among that list of talking buffoons. Joining me is Rowan Dean, columnist, editor of The Spectator Australian, host of Outsiders on Sky News on Sundays at 9 p.m. Rowan, what does this say about Trump and his critics?
Well, Andrew, I'm flattered to be coming on with all those talking buffoons. That's excellent. I'm privileged to be coming straight on after them. What it says, you mentioned destructive or creative thinking. Absolutely.
Creative destruction.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's also incredibly conservative thinking, because what he's done is he's fallen back on several cliches, if you like, that people used to believe in, but the left have kind of abandoned. One is, of course, my enemy's enemy is my friend. He's drawn on that. He's drawn on the idea of that the well-known cliche that the Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. And he's also gone back to that classic conservative idea, and the real estate agent or the real estate builder in him has spotted this: when you meet an immovable object, go around it. Everyone else, for years, you can just imagine, Andrew, if Obama or Clinton or any Democrat had managed to pull off this deal, it would be over every newspaper. It'd be pull-out spreads, 8-page supplements. It'll be the whole thing.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Exactly. But they've ignored it. They've downplayed it because it's Trump. This is monumental. This is like curing cancer. This is like flying to the moon. Solving putting together Israel-Arab peace deals is sensational. And this will go on to have one deal after another. It sets up the template for peace in the Middle East simply because, A, he's recognised and made others within the Sunni world recognise what a dreadful threat Iran is, as you said. Secondly, he said you can have peace with Israel, so Arabs and Israelis can have peace. Let the Palestinian situation resolve itself. Let's not try and solve that one. Let's get peace in the Middle East. And the Palestinians will have to come to the peace table of their own accord, rather than holding the entire region to ransom, which is what they've done for so long. It's huge, it's momentous, and he deserves all the credit, Donald Trump, for bringing off this peace deal. I hope he gets the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes, well, they won't give it to him, of course, never will. He's Donald Trump. But it's interesting, the sponsors of the Palestinian terror groups that run various bits of Palestinian territory, the sponsors, they're dropping off. So that's got to be good. By the way, I've got to show you this, mate. His rival Joe Biden, I really think America is about to, I know you think Trump will romp it in, but I fear that America's going to vote for a guy that's, well, lost his marbles. He seems to think now that his running mate Kamala Harris will in fact be the real president if he is elected. Have a listen to this.
Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort and keep pushing further.
The Harris-Biden administration, what does that tell you?
Well, it tells us the truth, and it tells us what Kamala Harris told us the other day, where she referred to the Harris administration. So clearly they've already workshopped this. They already have plans. I would argue it's a giveaway. It's either a Freudian slip or something, but I would argue that within the Democrats they are already planning for poor old Uncle Joe to slip quietly to the side and let Kamala Harris run the show. Joe Biden is clearly not up to it. He's clearly not... doesn't have the cognitive smarts to handle the pressure of being president, so he'll be some kind of figurehead with Kamala Harris running the show, and this is terrifying.
They better hurry while he still can remember her name.
That's
Meanwhile, Rowan, what are the scolds that have been unleashed by this virus panic? I mean, there's one man in Melbourne who tweeted this picture without the faces blurred and complained, group of lads selling sweets and drinks, I think it must be English, sweets and drinks for cash in Ramsden Reserve during stage 4 lockdown is pretty silly in my humble opinion, maybe worth sending someone down there. What kind of mentality has been unleashed, Rowan?
Well, it's disgusting, and I'm not surprised that these two lads are persona non gratis in Victoria, because they're obviously young entrepreneurs, young free enterprise individuals who want to go out and make a buck. They've even used the ironing board, reconfigured it as a table. They're smart, two very smart kids who are obviously going to go far in the world, but they were not going to go very far in Dan Andrews' Victoria, which is increasingly, I don't need to tell you, a socialist enclave, a failed state. What you saw here is two kids trying to make a buck, trying to do something, and the mentality that we increasingly see in Victoria is bring in the heavy hand of the police. Now, if this bloke who took the photo and put it online, he should remember what happened to other people in the last week where the authorities have been called in. The police in a car rammed some poor character and then stomped on his head. The police almost throttled a young woman around the throat. They've arrested people in pyjamas. The list goes on and on. Please don't call the police onto these kids.
This panic has unleashed a whole tribe of passive-aggressive, weak-kneed, trembling scolds, the kind of people that hold society back, does not advance them. Rowan Dean, thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks.